Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning. It is lovely to see you all once again, and welcome. So, well, was able to post my schedule on my various socials, and as you may have seen, tonight we are going to learn about night markets, or what night markets are in general. And alongside that, the reason well, this coming Saturday, I'm actually going to be going to a night market while I'm on vacation. Yay! So, it's going to be a lot of fun. And, well, you're being dragged along for the ride. So, I hope to see you there. And, well, it's going to be very interesting. But before we get to that, well, let's chat. Hi, Meowmies. Welcome, welcome. But yes, welcome. We're getting new people, and I'm very happy with that. But, well, things have been heating up, so at times you actually may hear fans in the background because, well, it's to avoid me trying to melt. The voids of space are much colder than, well, where I'm at on vacation at the moment. So, well, I'm trying to keep cool, but I can only do so much. Very warm, very warm. So, as you may know, I'm a big globe hopper. I do have a home point, but I like to travel a lot and travel through different ways, different ways of understanding as well. So, one way of understanding is, well, food, and another way is celebration. Usually, when they come together, they make, well, festivals. And all over the world, there are all sorts of festivals, especially during summer and like sometimes during winter. Like there is, I believe, in Europe, the Christmas market during that time of year. So it's like a special event that happens that has a bunch of things that are related to, well, good old Kris Kringle. Whether you believe in space altering individuals or not, well, Kris Kringle is probably high on the list of space altering individuals everywhere at once, but not quite. And he knows if you're good or if you're bad. Mm-hmm. But speaking of, a lot of places during summer, since, well, it's usually lighter outside for a longer period of time in the northern hemisphere, well, it's usually very common to have festivals, especially around like worshiping like good crop yield, worship or different types of worship in general. So it's pretty fun, and well, it makes for a great community gathering. As you probably, well, if you're watching a VTuber, you may have some experience with well, anime, manga, comics, things like that. So, with all that in mind, you've probably seen the Matsuri before, or basically celebration or festival, and lots of lights, lots of things like that, lots of food, dancing, singing, a whole giant celebration with fireworks. Well, that's kind of what night market is, but it's held more often with more food, but probably not as many fireworks. But it's a celebration of, well, getting together and having some fun. Having fun is, well, a big thing for us, especially when you see all the little games and things like that. And there are a lot of artists that come out too. So they get to show their madness and what's inside their mind. It's honestly amazing some of the pieces that some people can come up with, and I absolutely adore looking through all the pieces of art and seeing what has come out from those minds. It's wow. So, well, you may think it's limited to Asia, but it's not. Since I'm vacationing in an area that's a little away from Asia, but it has quite the Asian influence. Well, night market has come here. Wow. So while I was on vacation, while I was covering the Genshin live in real life kind of festival thing where you saw last week Saturday, well, we have more celebrations, lots more, and it's a lot of fun. So while I walk around here this coming Saturday, I'm hoping to take lots of pictures and videos and be with a lot of my friends as I visit different areas around the world. That's the great thing about having an international community. We can go anywhere around the world nowadays and have friends wherever we go. And, well, those that pursue knowledge, those that seek out joy, you share your laughter, your sorrow, we're all in this together. So I hope I can support you at some point as well, even if I'm only here. So if you ever need support, I'm more than happy to be someone you can lean on. So sit back, get cozy, and, well, let's start the show. Yay! Alright. And switch this. And on. Okay. Let's see. And let's see. Window. Forget. Ta-da! So, I know Wikipedia isn't the best source, but it also is a source of a lot of information. So, if you're ever doing papers, go down here instead and use the references instead of what's up in the Wikipedia page, because you're more likely to be able to get legitimate results down here. A lot of professors accept them. Well, with the night market, as you can see, the history dates back to actually Asia, and specifically China and the Tang Dynasty, which is, well, took place more in eastern China, if you can see. Ta-da! Tang Dynasty reached out way over there, way back in, well, all the way back for quite some time. And then afterwards, in the Song Dynasty, well, there was a gap dynasty, it became a very central point where you actually communicate. And, well, guess what? A lot of us are going to be there, having fun, going around places, doing a lot of things. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. But, alright. Let me switch over to Encyclopedia. Ta-da! So, how the Tang Dynasty came about, things like that, is, well, like the emperor came into being, and this culture really pushed arts and culture and things like that. But, well, all dynasties must fall at some point. And, well, with the Tang Dynasty, after their wise leaders came the foolish leaders. And this foolish leader tried to silence a lot of arts and cultures and things like that. Like us here, we wouldn't even be able to talk or speak or even say what we wish to speak during this time of the foolish man. So that foolish man was brought down, and what came into its place after was, well, Emperor Hong Chao. And basically, after that, it was the Huoling dynasty. So with the Huoling dynasty came that which was quickly overturned within one generation, the Song dynasty, where you saw everything popped up artistry-wise again, because once people start putting thumb screws to arts and culture and things like that, well, bad things start to happen. People don't like their freedoms being stepped on. So we like our art, we like our culture, we like our songs, we like our dance, we like our music and rhythm. So, as long as we're having fun, right? Right. So now on to the food. So you have things like Malaysia's longest night market and Hololive banning or temporary leave night market, and and then you have another Hololive temporary leave night market, and well, you have the even over in Burwood night markets. Oh, here's the Thailand's one, and well, night markets have even made their way into games like Valorant, where you have different kind of well, interesting procurements that you have. So if I do collab in the future, maybe I'll do Valorant with someone. And then yeah, there is Bangkok and different things like that. But the one I'm going to be going to is the 626 night market. Yay! This weekend. So, I am happy about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope you'll all be happy and share it with me. Basically, I will be harassing one of my dearest friends, and well, I hope they are not too angry with me as I stop at every single solitary thing and take a picture and maybe buy some food to bring back for Handycam. So that should be a lot of fun. Well, let's see. Oh, this was taken last year here, so let's take a see. Wow.
So, Jack with All Streets Gourmand out here in beautiful Santa Anita, California. We're doing the 66 night market, which started today. It's
lots of palm trees.
98 degrees. It's supposed to get really warm this weekend, so we look forward to that.
Oh, I am not looking forward to the heat. I'm going to cry so hard.
Come to 626, you definitely want to get reservations.
Oh my gosh.
Events, I feel like a broken record.
Oh.
Yeah,
there's lots and lots and lots of stuff.
And it seems like quantities are limited. Option.
Especially from what I saw was usually things get super busy at night.
Parking is free out here at Santa Anita. Check out a couple of options. We've actually been here before.
Oh, see, look, lots of arts and crafts and neat things like that. So I'm actually really excited to see that kind of stuff. And then, oh look, there's a stage. Yeah, all the way over there. So we do have other types of arts and other types of crafts. Lots of fun. Oh, lots of pins and things like that. But as the name implies, it is all street gourmand. And as gourmands do, well, they eat. So it looks like we're heading into what looks like a food area. See? All the food. It actually looks pretty good, and it's making me hungry.
This place is massive. It rivals a lot of other food markets for sure. So we already saw places we want to grab a drink, so we're going to start there. But definitely a ton of food options, a lot of fusion, a lot of interesting different food.
Well, that's the good thing about the area that I'm visiting right now. Next, I should probably visit the Vancouver one, the Richmond Night Market. That one's fun.
Cleaned off nicely here. First thing I
Mm.
wanted to do is I saw a calamansi drink on the menu.
Oh,
You can get one from Boba Friend. This was $5. Actually, I think I was getting a
wow.
deal. It's a
Yeah,
fairly large drink.
boba for
There's
$5 is not too bad.
calamansi coconut on the bottom.
So boba is usually falls under milk tea.
It's a very citrusy
What most people know as milk tea tends to be called boba, I believe, in the Los Angeles area
spot right now.
or the Southern California area.
Pork chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
with boba on the
See?
bottom. So it's
Boba.
boba.
Boba's made out of tapioca.
The ube is just a nice
And
touch with
well,
hot chocolate, meaning that it's with
I actually really like ube myself. Oddly, it comes from a potato, but it tastes like how should I put it? Like cookies and cream ice cream. Like an earthy cookies and cream ice cream. It tastes really good. Well, that's the best way I can compare it to. But as you can see, ramen and skewers and bibimbap. We're going to Korea. Oh, hey, we have spam musubi, so we're in Hawaii now.
Walked around a few different times again, just to maybe what's novel, what's a taste that we haven't really tried. Also, it's hot, so we wanted to do something a little bit cool. So we went to a place called Noragami, and they
Oh, hey, look, they have I believe it's called
taco.
furikake over some fries. So what furikake is
Fried just
whatchamacallit, seaweed with sesame seeds with usually some MSG as well, and it goes great over rice.
shell with some rice.
So
So very much like a kind of a sushi roll, but in a totally different
Yep.
form here. And as well. So
I'm looking forward to trying some of this stuff because, well, traveling around the world has allowed me to taste some interesting things. And, well, there's some foods you can't forget.
So this is great. It's actually very much like a taco. Obviously, it's cold, which is seaweed is
well,
refreshing. The microgreens are refreshing.
you have your tempura outside and inside with all the sushi stuff, like a California roll. Take a look at that. It's well, not too hard to make. Maybe I can try and make stuff with you in the future.
All right, I wasn't joking when I said I needed to hydrate. So there.
All right, let's change to theater mode.
This is a 25 fluid. 17.
Well,
I had to get one. It's ice cold.
Bottoms up, everyone. Yeah.
Just a nice, clear, crisp finish with Stella.
Yes.
So definitely recommend picking up one.
Yes. Eat all the things. So, I'm looking forward to see what kind of fusions and new things are out there. But take a look at that food. Some of it looks just amazing. And well, they have like coconut jelly and like traditional things from night markets from around the world. Hello, hi.
After our exhaustive search here,
We're here looking at night market food and stuff.
landed on something called what we have.
Oh my gosh, I've had them up in Canada before. They're so good, especially their Wagyu dog. It's so good. Oh my gosh, it is amazing. Though I don't want to exactly show you me stuffing my face with a hot dog. That's more a Fansly thing. I'm doing well. Thank you. But I'm getting hungry. Yes, we did. That we did. It was very good. Shared.
Okay. So what I appreciate about it,
Oh,
sausage is excellent.
yeah.
It's actually a combination of both sweet and umami in there.
Yep, just a bit.
You gotta do that.
We've been chatting.
A little bit of extra.
They're a good bean.
Bun.
They're a good, actual good bean.
The combination of the teriyaki along with the mayo, the onions, the seaweed.
So, welcome.
It's actually really good. It's a really good combination.
Yeah, but lots of seaweed here. And remember, seaweed contains iodine and other things that are actually good for your health. So, like, why there's actually like iodine and salt and things like that now is for thyroid health, and that thyroid health is actually very important, especially as you get older.
Number one is the hours are from 4
Thank you very much. I'm glad for your support.
as you saw some of our initial shots.
Yay!
Very warm here between those early hours.
But yeah, as you can see, lots of asphalt. So lots of asphalt usually means lots of heat beating down on you.
You can have one in your city's website, see if there's something near you, and see if the timing works out. But
So,
we definitely encourage you to travel up for it, no matter where you're at. It's a really good festival, really
yes.
good occasion. The other item is restrooms. Don't be too concerned. Some over in front of the facility, as well as a lot of porta potties on the extremities of the space.
Yeah, I remember walking around on the asphalt last time, and well, yeah, I remember having to almost catch you.
You'll find something sweet and probably head out.
Ooh, let's find something sweet. Oh, ube brownies. Ube brownies are always so good. Like, it's a cookies and cream brownie without having to use Oreos.
Honestly, it's a beautiful dusk. A lot of folks are enjoying the event. We're gonna so we wanted something a little colorful.
Oh, it looks like halo halo, which comes from Hawaii.
Some Laotian sweets. So this is all
It's Laotian.
Namwan.
Oh.
Beautiful different jellies here in the bottom.
It reminds me a lot of halo halo, and I've had a fair amount. And then another one, anitsu from Japan, and then yeah, the Thai Nawan. When I was in Thailand, the Nawan was so good, especially when it was so hot outside. Hello. Hi. Hello, lovely people. Welcome to all the new people. Thank you for the follow, Sukuna.
Signing off here at 626 Night Market in Arcade.
So, you want to watch another 626 Night Market one, or check out the website? Actually, let's check out the website first.
So it's always great to come back here
So,
and check things out.
okay. Alright, let's check out the 626. Yahoo! So let's see. 626 Night Market. Alright. So, ta-da! This is the 626 Night Market. Welcome. Thank you for dropping by from Benny. They're a good bean. Yes. Well, let's see. Event info. Well, different places. And vendors. Let's take a look at all the food. This is an important part. This is why we're here, and why we're in the food and drink category. So, it looks like we have here sandwich. What is it called? Macaron. It's not quite macaroon, because macaroon is made out of coconut. Macaron is the French one that's made out of egg whites and almond flour. So, and then the usual filling is like a sweetened, egg white as well, like a pavlova, or they sometimes pipe in marshmallow. Sometimes frosting, but those would get very sweet. And then we have dumplings. I am very used to dumplings because I go to dim sum here and there at times. Dim sum is very good, and well, it's I enjoy my dim sum because, as you can see, everything is pouched into little things where you have the crystal shrimp, the shumai, and what looks to be the shoranbao, which is soupy dumpling over on top. Shoranbao, it can be very dangerous though, especially when you bite into it when it's still hot. It jettisons a bunch of soup liquid all over you while it has the meatball inside, and well, it's burning liquid. It's very hot. I've done that accident more than a few times. It's painful. So But if you do get the chance to try Xiaolongbao or Supi dumpling, I would actually highly recommend it, especially with a little bit of chili sauce or chili oil. Then you have the cold noodles over here. Cold noodles are always interesting. It freaks some people out because of people are used to hot noodles. Well, cold noodles are kind of all over the place when it comes to flavors and textures and things like that. Because the human mouth is able to taste things at a room temperature to higher temperature better than it does at a colder temperature. So that's why cold things tend to be a lot more deceptive when you're eating them, especially like drinks and things like that. Like if you've had a like say a can of soda, let's take Coca-Cola because that's pretty known the world around. If you've had a can of Coca-Cola at room temperature and you've had a can of Coca-Cola at when it's cold, it tastes very different at room temperature than it would be when it's cold, because cold you can't taste all the spices and sugar that's in it, whereas at room temperature you can taste the spices more and it's a lot more sugary. So it's a neat experiment to try if you ever want to try one. And then you have, oh, it looks like they have banana pie or banana cream pie. Well, speaking of cream pies, maybe we'll deal with Ansley. SJ, thank you for subscribing, or thank you for following. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So, if we're going to talk about that kind of subject, maybe I'll make a Fansly in the future and go on over there. So, that for the more risky stuff. Big Fair, it's making me hungry too. So you're not alone on that one. And there's a lot to cover. As you can see, we have boba. And, well, boba is always good. But boba falls under the tea category as well a lot here in the Southern California area. So, yep, it's food torture stream. This is to get you all wound up so you can tell me in the future what kind of foods you want me to make, because come Saturday, if you leave me a message in my Discord of what kind of foods you want me to make, I'm more than happy to try and make it on stream for you. Or at least bring it back with me from the night market and show you how it is, and maybe bring the ingredients along so I can teach you how to make it. So, here is the tornado potato. So this is actually very interesting in how it's made. So they put a full potato into a specialized machine, and that machine literally, like, you skewer it through a machine that has almost like a it's like a peeler at the other end, but it's only specifically on one side. So as you're turning the potato, it turns into, well, a tornado. And that tornado gets actually usually, drizzled with like other things like, well, I think my favorite probably is just like the butter and, well, as you can see there, they have some soy powder, which makes it taste really cheesy. Or you can just get the actual powdered nacho cheese, which is really good. Another popular one is actually Hot Cheetos. Hot Cheetos have oddly taken the world by storm. Hello! Welcome, Aiden. But yes, Hot Cheetos have taken the world by storm, and as you can see, this tornado potato turns completely red, and it becomes very spicy with Hot Cheetos on the outside. And, well, it's pretty tasty either way. But, well, don't eat too much because you'll fill up and, well, maybe have a tummy that doesn't like you too much. Then you have what's called birria tacos. And for an Asian night market, this actually comes from south of the border, where it comes from Mexico. Mexico has a lot of excellent and amazing food culture, and birria tacos has taken a lot of the world by storm as well. It has spread very quickly, and oh, yes, I know Benny. They're a good bean. So welcome, and all the good beans that are here. And then, well, as you can see from right here, it's lobster. And lobster over what looks like seasoned French fries with butter, and yep, we're talking about night markets and all sorts of. Oh, thank you, Jaden, for following. Yay! Or Aiden. Yay! But yes, as you can see, lobster covers, and all over that it looks like melted butter and, well, Parmesan cheese. So lots of good food. Always something good. And then here's boba in the more traditional form, but it's in the Hololive banning form. The one that did in my Kamiyoshi. But this is brown sugar boba, and with brown sugar, like basically what they do is they rehydrate a bunch of these boba balls in high heat, which is you boil it, and then over that you just pour a ton of sugar, a lot. So basically that's called maceration. Maceration is when you actually pour sugar over something like fruit or something that is hydrated, and it turns into a jelly-like liquid itself. It becomes very tasty, and well, like strawberry pies and things like that usually have a giant mound of strawberries with macerated red sugar all over the top of it. It's very, very tasty, especially in summer. But over here, you see the taro boba, or ube. So both potatoes, but yeah, one's more vibrant. But this may be the ube actually. So ube is actually very good. Like I said, it tastes like cookies and cream, even though it's purple. But it does taste a bit more earthy. So it's actually pretty neat. So it's like a not overly sweet cookies and cream. Very good. And then giant squid. You can catch these off the coast, and there's a special way usually to catch them. And well, there's been a few interesting memes that they use to catch these kind of squid. They've actually used how should I put it, very vibrant colored anime girls as bait, like anime figurines, and thrown them overboard. And well, it's something out of Japanese, well, hello, Mikey. Welcome. But yes, yeah, with those Japanese figurines, apparently they catch the squid real well in the most unfortunate ways. So think about that when you're perceiving some stuff that is more of the 18 plus variety. Well, and then as you can see, it's deep fried and things like that, and it's just chewy enough and so very good. It's a pretty good time for your mouth. And well, more lobster. As you can see, this one though offers a variety all the way through the whole lobster body with what's called the tamale. So the tamale is the gall and liver area of the lobster, and it's used for sauces and things like that, the world over. So with the tamale being here, you kind of use the rest of the lobster or bread or things like that you have with it and dip it in there. And well, as you can see, they have like the butter spaghetti here with the parmesan over it and things like that, and the what looks like langoustine, which is a size down from a lobster but a size up from like giant shrimp. So they're pretty big and very tasty. You can actually they're one of the few where you can actually eat the shells and eat their heads, which is kind of creepy but actually also kind of tasty. So sometimes when you're a culinarian, you have to be kind of brave. Thank you for the follow, Mikey. Yay! And then, well, if you want natural, like cane sugar, things like that. So, a lot of us eat refined sugar. That's the white stuff you see all around and about the cubes and stuff like that. But before it gets in that state, it goes way, way, way back, especially in more humid countries, which are the Asian countries. And in the Asian countries, they actually just squeeze out in between a cold press for sugarcane. And that gives you a naturally sugary drink with all its original natural ingredients. And as you can see here, it only has a little bit of fruit juice flavoring. So it's actually healthier for you than juices and sodas and all that other stuff. So if you ever get a chance to try like sugarcane type drinks, they're very healthy for you and pretty good for you. So I welcome you to try things naturally before you dive into other things because, well, you can decide for yourself what tastes better. Usually I'm pretty fond of actual sugarcane itself before refined sugar. So turbinado sugar, which is a brown sugar, which means that they boiled up the sugarcane syrup and basically broke it up, is a raw type brown sugar. And then brown sugar itself is a sugar that's a little bit further down the line from turbinado, if I remember correctly. And as such, it contains what is molasses in it. And then to split the molasses from the sugar, it's another boiling where you actually separate the molasses and actual sugar itself, and then it's reboiled, then it's powdered down into refined sugar. So, that was a mouthful. And, well, that's how you get refined sugar, all the way down that line. So, you can get it at its source. It's usually better for you. That's why, like things like corn syrup and things like that are not that great for you. But I still eat things with corn syrup in it, so I'm not one to talk. Another tornado potato. As you can see, they have different spices here. Oh, this is the so if any of you watch Squid Games or any of the Japanese like matsuri kinds of things, you should actually know this one pretty well. This is dalgona, which is a kind of highly whipped coffee type candy. So what they do is they get like high beater and beat the like instant coffee, a little bit of water, a little bit of sugar, and it's because it's all liquidy, and then they kind of melt it down and they beat it, and they add some usually baking soda into it. And then that baking soda makes it all fizzy. And as you can see here, it becomes like this. Or just the air bubbles itself. Depends on the dangola that you get, or dalgona that you get. So it can be a lot of fun, especially maybe I'll make it for all y'all in the future at some point. And well, hopefully I don't have to pull a Squid Games where I to it. And then, well, this is kind of known the world over. Kebabs. Kebabs are amazing. They're great, and there's so many countries and different types of ethnicities that do kebabs. So, as you can see, kebabs here are more what looks to be Vietnamese style. They tend to use a lot more in way of, well, the cilantro right here. And cilantro is also known as oregano and things like that. So be careful when you pick up cilantro. And also, I'm one of the few lucky people that are able to eat cilantro. So yes, this body won the genetic lottery. Yay! So, people who do not win the genetic lottery, unfortunately, cilantro tastes like soap to them. So it's like if you got a bunch of hand soap and poured it into your mouth. and that's how it would taste to people, and it's pretty nasty to them. Mm-hmm. And then, well, we have stuff from Japan mixed with French influence, which is with Hello Kitty and macarons again. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yes, cilantro soap is very pretty common, but it's very tasty. Oh, so you have what looks to be a sesame paste over what looks to be like a bunch of stuff, fruits and things like that, which is excellent for summer, especially to keep hydrated. And with what is the sesame paste, because they may not have had peanuts, it tastes like peanut butter, and well, is good for you. It gives you the fats and oils and things like that you need too. So this is actually excellent for summer to keep you going and keep you running. Mm-hmm. So I highly suggest stuff like this in the summer. Then you have French fries. You can't get out of the U.S. without having some French fries. This looks like a pizza fry to me. So, unfortunately, well, you're going to have to put up with being a bit of a fatty. Last time, I hate to say it, I was a bit of a fatty, and well, I ate the garlic fries from this place. It was so good, and well, very garlicky. Mm-hmm. So I suggest if you can get garlic fries, try and get garlic fries because they're very, very tasty. And do not be shy of garlic. Mm-mm. And then Korean barbecue. Well, I'm pretty sure a fair number of you that have an international community have heard about Korean barbecue before, or at least the legends of Korean barbecue. And it's so tasty. Even though you grill it up yourself, you make it any sort of which way you want. Garlic fries are always good. But yes, yeah, with Korean barbecue, it's you order a bunch of different meats and grill it on the grill. Go get food. Oh, food always comes first. So, taking care of yourself always comes first. And here we are, all together. So make sure you take care of yourself. So, if you need it, stand up, stretch, take a drink. Heck, I'll take a drink myself right now. Wow. So, get some food if you need it, and this should be fun. Well, around the outside here, well, there's one thing we do have to talk about. Oh no. So, in a lot of Asian cultures and European cultures, not so much in US culture or North American cultures per se, they eat what's called tartare, or food that is raw. If you can see over here, this is probably raw beef, but it's actually well-maintained, well-controlled beef that you actually gets marinated with other safe ingredients and things like that. Oh. I'm sorry. I know I'm going through all this food, but it's really good, and I want to share it all with you so you can maybe tell me in the future what you might want to eat. So, if you do tell me what you want to eat, I promise I'll get to it. Whatever you want me to make, just go to my Discord, leave me a message, things like that, and well, I will make sure to put it on the list and have it all set and ready for you, so you can come eat with me every Saturday. So, Saturdays are my teaching days, so I don't mind teaching food because food is a universal language. But, like the food here, you have the banchan around the outside. And, well, this banchan complements the food in the center. So, if you've ever seen the movie Ratatouille, where Remy the rat and their sibling, their big sibling, and Remy gives the sibling 2 pieces of things to eat. And, well, it's like, okay, eat this slice of cheese and eat this fruit. Those notes go together and make this, and this kind of symphony, and these kind of things. Well, that's what these banchan are there for. You put these things together, and it makes all sorts of different notes for you. And those notes, well, you'll find your favorite combination. Like, I know it's sacrilege, but I do like grilling my kimchi and then getting a pickled daikon, and then putting the meat and then the grilled kimchi and then some of the other banchan around and putting it in and then eating it all. Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, we can definitely get a prairie dog snack, especially if well, oats, grains, things like that are the specialty of prairie dogs. And, well, a little further up, it does look like we have some things that look very green. But before we go to the green, we go to the unhealthy, which is Korean corn dogs. Not American corn dogs, Korean corn dogs, because you can tell by the outside. The outside has what looks like a crispy, sugary crust on the outside. And don't knock it before you try it. Usually there's either cheese inside, or there's sausage, or both. And the sugary, crispy, crunchy outside with a little bit of salt, and then that's savory inside. It gets you that sweet, savory kind of combination. I've stuffed my face with probably more than one, if you can envision that. Well, it's probably something to envision. So they do get kind of messy and kind of, well, get all over me. And then you can see to the next side of it, they put, well, French fries, or potato cubes technically, all over the top of it, and it looks like it has a kind of sweet soy sauce glaze over the top of it with some I don't know, I think it looks like green onion or parsley. But yes, it's very, 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 very tasty, and I enjoy the potato one as well, because it's like having your fries and your hot dog at the same time while not needing to rely on ketchup all that much. But speaking of greens, this is actually very famous in Asian culture, especially in China, especially if you read like wuxia and xianxia, Chinese kind of literature. This is tangru, or the one right here. It looks like it's strawberry and berry tangru, where the usual tangru is made out of hawthorns, and hawthorns taste like the sweetest, honest to goodness apricots that you'll ever have in your life, if you can compare. It's so good, and it's worth a try if you can get a tanguru. So don't be afraid. And usually they have a crispy, sugar-coated crust. So when you crunch into it, it's a loud crunch, and all the shards go into it and make the tanguru, which is still like live fruit. Well, they're still juicy, and so the juices mix with the sugar, and it's so good as it mixes in your mouth. It's kind of like a sweet treat, even if you don't have sweets around. And then, well, these are potted plants. Not really, though. What? Tuck down the wrong side. What? So, as you can see, this one to the right, I believe, probably is a strawberry shortcake potted plant. So, it has ice cream on the bottom, usually if it's strawberry shortcake, vanilla and strawberry. And on top of it, it has a bunch of like butter and white cake that's turned into little like crouton, like sweet croutons and things like that on top of it. It's very, very good if you get a chance to have that. Then you have the traditional dirt pie, which is usually, as you can see on the top of it, it has a little green sprig, which is mint. and it has the gummy wormies, which are always traditional. And then it has the Oreo topping, and then usually below it, it's either vanilla, cookies and cream, or chocolate. Of course, because it's a dirt cup. But this is all ice cream and everything you can eat, even though it looks like this. And it's a great, sweet, cool treat. Very tasty. And, well, very easy to make, especially in front of all you, especially when it gets hot. So, this may look like ramen cooked up, or may look like chow mein, which comes from China. But this is the Indonesian type noodle dish. See how it has the egg and stuff like that over the top, and how it glistens rather than having crispies around the outside. So they use a different type of sweet sauce to go over the top of it, and it's very tasty. I've had it before, but it's very hard to find usually outside of well, certain Asian areas and international areas. And, well, you have now reached fusion, which is, it looks like bulgogi, french fries, kimchi, and green onions. So this one's actually making me very hungry because I very much enjoy a good Korean barbecue on top of french fries dish. It's very tasty. And, well, very easy to eat. Kind of just stab your fork in, get some fries, get some salt, and get all that lovely meat on the bottom that's all marinated and soaking into the fries. And, well, it's actually pretty good. And then we have what's called katsu, or it's literally just fried cutlets and things like that. That's usually pounded down. And as you can see, there's a dipping sauce on the other side, usually katsu sauce. My favorite actually brand. Yes, katsu is always good. But yes, my favorite dipping sauce brand actually is called Bulldog. I believe it's the same thing in Hawaii and Japan as well. It's called Bulldog. And in Japan though, they have actually little distilleries that make their own special ones. But because it's so greasy, a lot of the times you eat it with cabbage and things like that. So as you can see over here, it has a cabbage with a dressing on top. Usually it's a miso type dressing, but it can be very tasty alongside of it, especially to cut through the grease. And so you keep having it, cleansing your palate, having it, cleansing your palate. So it's a new flavor experience each and every time. Then, as I was saying, this is what's called elote, or from, I believe it is a Mexican and Southern Californian specialty, where it is, you get a grilled corn on the cob, then you put usually butter or mayonnaise or something like that over it, and you put cheese, and then this one has the specialty of Takis instead of actually Flaming Hot Cheetos. So Takis have gotten very popular and are kind of like Flaming Hot Cheetos, but they have a bit more of a sour kick and, well, a fiery punch. So it can be pretty tasty. And then, well, Jamaican cuisine. Jamaican cuisine is very interesting because they use a lot of salts, stews, and things like that to keep, and especially spices, to keep things good for a fairly long period of time. So as you can see, this is probably stewed oxtail, which many are probably very about, but oxtail is actually very good and very meaty. So all that meat comes off, and basically you have some of the best stewed steak in your life. And, well, all of it complements each other so well, and it's almost like a pot roast. So very good. And Jabba Dog is back! So, well, unfortunately I will be eating here, and, well, I probably will not be taking pictures of me stuffing my face with a foot-long hot dog, and you can imagine that on your own. So, well, If I do ever do get Fansly in the future, maybe. Then, well, it looks like this is squid tentacles and things like that. Always handy, always good. Skewers all the world round. As you can see, both of them are next to each other. Skewers are pretty much the universal answer to everything as you're walking around and munching on stuff. It's makes life very easy, especially if you're just want something to chew on. Very tasty. But this one right here. So this is an egg toast sandwich. This has become very popular, and well, it's very, very good. I enjoy it immensely myself, and it's, well, one of the few things that is great for the morning while you're on the run. So you get all the meat lined up in the center, you get an egg and toast around the outside. Okay, thank you for coming. Michiro. Have a good one. Honya. So, as you can see, very tasty, very and very handy, and well, you can put pretty much anything you want in it. It's like an omelet in a sandwich and things like that, and makes life super easy. And well, if I need to like run to work, I'm just grabbing this as I go because, well, when I get to work, usually I have to land on my feet. And here is elote again, but rainbow colored elote. So for our friendly LGBT folks. And well, as you can see, they colored the what I believe is the mayonnaise on top, and they have different colors of the different kind of toppings here. So they have it both as an actual stick, and then you have the actual cup. I actually eat mostly elote from a cup, so having elote in a cup makes my life much easier and a lot less messy. So it's always kind of has that satisfying crunch if you bite into an full corn cob elote. So I get messy a lot. Let's just say that. Unfortunate. So this right here is another skewer, but I believe this one is called satay, and it usually has spices, especially curry powder, around the outside, and oregano and things like that. So this is very popular, especially spice-wise, when you're drinking beer. Yep, you take a bite of this, have a sip of your beer, take a bite of this, and basically you just go skewer after skewer and dumping them into a little bin. It's a lot of fun, especially when you have a group of friends. So next up is one of my favorite desserts, is coconut milk made into a jello type consistency kind of thing. So as you can see, they have a lot of different matchas and chocolate, well, actually no, that looks like coffee. Coffee during the summer actually is pretty good. Especially cold coffee. I'm a big fan. And then you have, well, it looks like cornflower or maybe blueberry. It's I tend to have an interest in human interests, and people get very creative with food, and food is, well, as I said earlier, a universal language. So when you're able to confer in food, especially from each other, and you're not afraid of it, well, people tend to open up a lot better and trust you a lot more. So get used to food and and that will open up gateways to people. So, but yes, this is one of my favorite things, a coconut type of jelly, and well, it's very tasty. If you get the chance to try it, it's very smooth, very creamy, kind of like milk, but it's, well, it comes from a coconut, and it doesn't taste too much like coconut as well. It's just kind of a sweet, creamy, planty type treat, so I suggest trying it. Then, well, they actually do bring Wagyu steak here. Like, they can't call it Kobe beef, because Kobe is the trademark of the Kobe prefecture itself. So they can't call anything Kobe outside, or Kobe beef outside the Kobe prefecture unless you actually import it. From there, everything else is called Wagyu. So you have different ratings, and the highest I believe is like A5 Wagyu, where it is basically Kobe beef, extremely marbled, the fat melts like butter and things like that. So they bring that kind of stuff, grill it up on a nice hot charcoal grill, and basically serve it up. Kind of expensive, but if you've never had Wagyu or Kobe beef, I actually suggest trying it at some point in your life because, well, if you do eat beef, because it is actually kind of worth a try just to try all the different flavors and how good they taste. That way you can combine different things. And this looks like a fish fry. Well, it looks like they have noodles beneath, and what they do is, if you know kind of how like you steam fish and you break it off, the bones and things like that, and just completely strip the fish of the flesh, well, you basically put that over the noodles and things like that, and put the lemon on top. Makes a very tasty dish. Just a very simple one as well. But here we have another, what's kind of like a tanguru, but as you can see in the center, it has a mochi. So mochi is what's called glutinous rice, and it's usually pounded a lot, pounded very hard, and well, then it's taken out and turned into a little spherical thing. And this one looks like it has little decorations put on the outside. And, well, something I'm a real big sucker for, cheesecake. I adore cheesecake, especially the New York type cheesecake. New York cheesecake is. Yes, when things get a good pounding, they are, well, let's just say, can get very softened up. But yes, so there's a difference between Asian type cheesecake, New York type cheesecake, things like even different types of cheesecake from around the world. So New York type cheesecake, what it looks like here, is actually a lot denser, containing a lot more cream cheese, a lot less flour, things like that. So basically you have to kind of mix it for like almost an hour until it's like this consistency of like just runny cheese. And then you bake it above a water bath so it doesn't crack and get all yucky. So from that, I enjoy different types of New York style cheesecake. And well, there's the cherry type, the blueberry type, just the plain type, and I've seen chocolate and things like that. There's also like things like caramel and chocolate and things, which usually has nuts on top. And well, that's called a turtle. I wonder how it peeked its head out though. Then more Korean corn dogs, but different toppings, as you can see. So I've talked a lot in depth about this one. And this one actually the topping looks to be very interesting because it's not very common here in the United States, where I'm visiting right now. And as such, well, actually, generally in North American areas in general, except for Mexico. Yeah, Mexico tends to use it a lot. But besides that point, it is also sweetened condensed milk over the top of it. And that sweetened condensed milk actually gives that sweet flavor with the ketchup and the sourness of the ketchup and the crunchiness and all that. So, in Mexico, they use sweetened condensed milk a lot of the times for what's called dulce de leche, which is a milk caramel. And it's very, very tasty. And, well, if you get a chance to have real dulce de leche, I would suggest trying it. Then, crab rolls. So, New England tries to kind of claim it, but everything has been made into a sandwich. Oh, that's different. Yes. Pizza is pretty much good with anything. You can create it any sort of which way. Like, the Italians will claim sacrilege, but I honestly don't care because humans have creative minds. Yes, churros with dulce de leche are amazing good, especially with a little bit of cinnamon sugar and things like all that over top. And then more boba over here. And then, oh, so this is kind of a Hawaiian specialty. It's, it looks like kalua pig, which is basically a pig that has been, the skin has been crisped up entirely. So as you can see, or I believe in Mexico, they call it, especially, or even if it has still meat on it, chicharron. But yes. I'm glad. But yes, but as you can see, the chicharron around the outside gets super crunchy, super crunchy, and it's like eating like almost a potato chip like consistency of like if you have chicken skin and if you've gotten it really crispy, well, it's like a potato chip. That's a salty, meaty potato chip. Then you have like they usually. Yes, chicharron is amazing with any sort of citrus in general, and with a little chile, if you can have a little chile sauce over it. And then usually over the rice itself, it's cooked in consomme, which is, for the lack thereof a better term, a kind of clarified broth. Usually they use chicken broth on this, and so basically it's a rice chicken broth with chicharron. Yes, I have had Peruvian ceviche, and I don't think I've had cuy yet. But yes, I've had Peruvian ceviche, and I've had the what is it? Pommes frites. Yes, the types of the Peruvian steak with chimichurri and like larger cut dinner type French fries. It's very good. Okay, so an American classic, and it can't be done any other way. A smash burger. So, smash burgers are very good. I enjoy the smash burgers. But what sets them apart from a regular burger is, well, they're smashed. So they smash them down very flat as they can be, so that the fat actually crisps up, much like the chicharron itself here. So with the fat all crisping up, you get this wonderful skirt around the outside that caramelizes. And that caramelization actually adds to the flavoring. So when people say caramel, it usually means sweet, and they think sweet in the head. But no, caramelization is the process of getting something past a certain point where it turns a brownish color. And that brownish color gives extra roasty, toasty, wonderful flavors. And, well, you can see along the top of here, it has what looks like banana peppers. And usually over the top of it has, oh yeah, caramelized onions on top of a good smash burger. Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like there's an aioli as well as caramelized onions on top of that. So, if you ever get a chance to get a real good smash burger, well, I would suggest you try it. One of my more favorite American things that are out there. But when it comes to American things, I don't think anything can beat the smoked barbecue. So, low and slow, many hours, and it gives these wonderful smoky flavors. You see that pink ring all around the outside? That's not undercooked. That's the smoke ring. So that means the wood that you had, so usually it's like apple or things like that, things that don't contain resin, because resin is bad for your health. So things that contain very little in way of resin are smoked, which is different than actually just burning them. So smoking usually involves taking like wood box, wood pellets, wood chips, things like that, soaking them in water, then heating them up past the burning point, which is 451. So it goes at a pretty high heat, and that smokes all this stuff. And with all this stuff smoking, it actually, you keep the grill away from the heat, and that smoke, since it's hot enough, cooks things through. And basically, when it has smoked long enough, you don't want to dry things out. You basically usually wrap it in butcher's paper, lower it down, and well, cook it. So it comes out nice, juicy, and tender, and you can, well, eat it as is or put your favorite barbecue sauce over it. I'm a big fan of brown sugar and vinegar based sauces. Especially, I make an apricot one with all that. It's very good. And, well, so this is kind of like the eggy waffles that comes from, I want to say the name, but I don't want to get in trouble. So, but in the United States area, well, it's a prefecture of Hololive, unable to say name, banning saying name. But this is kind of like, how would you put it? Super puffy, since they're called egg waffles, basically like donuts. And basically they go great with anything. Smoked cheese is amazing. Especially cold smoked cheese. You get a nice hard cheese, and well, smoke it, and it goes great. And on a charcuterie board. So, this is more from the Mexican prefectures and things like that. So, as you can see, they actually deal with a lot of fruits and things like that because it's an easier sweet treat out there. And, well, they have other things they put on, like, they put chimoy, which is a kind of spicy, sour kind of liquefied fruit roll-up that goes over the top of stuff. So it's basically a kind of a weird, kind of sweet, salty, like fruit roll-up that is liquid that goes over the top. Or the pico de gallo, not the actual like pico de gallo, which they may. But... Yes. Yep. There's the churros right there. Oh yeah, Tajín. Tajín is very popular, which is a spicy treat, spicy kind of somewhat salty, and basically it's lemony as well. And well, it's very good. But there's a powdered pico de gallo that they put over the top of it, and it's so very good. If you get a chance, open your minds and well, embrace the madness of food. And then, well, more French fries. As you can see, regular French fries, but this one has different dips. So they're taking a different kind of rule here. So, like a sour cream and onion dip is usually made with, as someone said earlier, well, caramelized onions. These caramelized onions have like Worcestershire notes and things like that, and it's sweet and salty and things. And so you put it usually what's in sour cream, or even add a little bit of mayonnaise to make it even more creamy. Then you usually put like a bit of like garlic powder or other things. And well, you have yourself a very simple, very easy, sweet or kind of creamy onion dip. Always very good, always very tasty. Great on game days. So if you're playing football, basketball, baseball, all of that stuff all together, it's very good. So this place, I've had it many times before. I usually eat one at the end of my time. So they always put different wonderful, amazing things over churros and then stuff it in ice cream. You can even get filled churros. So what they do is they stick a long rod in there and pipe it full of different types of creams or jellies or jams and things like that. and they put it right into the ice cream. It's very good, and well, it's very satisfying as well. So you eat a bit of the hot, creamy, sweet treat, and basically then you get the cold, creamy, sweet treat, and it goes so well. One of my favorite things. And then you get, so sushi has become a very popular thing around the world, and well, tempura type sushi is super duper popular. Oh, I'll probably have to look that one, the bakzik, right? So, yes. I'm actually very interested to see what the bakzik is. So, in the future, I probably will actually... Oh, I've had these before. So the bakzik is very reminiscent of what Americans would call a jelly donut, but it is denser, eggier, and well, usually topped with powdered sugar and usually stuffed full of some sort of homemade jam. And well, it can't get better than that. I've had it before when I was working in an international area that I had access to a bakery that had a lot of this kind of stuff. It was so amazing. And then oh, that is true. The rose flavored ones are very interesting. Rose water, you have to go a little bit goes a long way, but we'll probably get to some onigiri here. But onigiri is super simple to make, the regular ones, and well, I am a fan of the tuna mayo onigiri, or the karaoke, which is the crispy fried chicken. Crispy fried chicken karaoke, with a bit of mayo or the sweet soy sauce. Shoyu? No, shoyu is just soy sauce. So I forget what the sweet soy sauce's name is at the moment. But yes, it's all very good. Japanese culture has kind of taken the world by storm overall. And well, I could make a jelly donut sweet version, onigiri, but it would be interesting if I made it with mango sticky rice, maybe. So, taking on more the Asian island nation cultures, they have what's called coconut sticky rice or coconut mango sticky rice, and well, you can use that, and if you do it drier, a lot of the time you either go on one end, which it comes out like rice pudding, which Americans have, or Europeans have as well. Yes, food is good, and yeah, you're not the first. I'm glad you're here though. But yes, the mango sticky rice, I could probably turn it into something like that, though I would have to find a replacement for seaweed. Maybe I'll ponder on it and try and create something myself. Or maybe you'll come up with a recipe for me and I can try it out. I'm excited. Very, very excited. Well, from there, this is sandos in Japanese culture. So there is the katsu sando, which is a favorite of mine. Usually has a miso marinade kind of cabbage on top of a katsu sandwich or katsu type things in between luscious milk bread. And yes, katsu sandos are very, very good and hard to beat. There's the Japanese egg salad, egg sando, which is the egg salad sandwich, which the Japanese make it a bit differently. It's a bit more vinegar based instead of just mayo based. So the mayo has vinegar and things like that in it, where it's actually really tasty and very creamy since it's made out of like a vinegary mayo. Then it looks like they have what looks like a fish type one. And fish is, yeah, it looks like fish. And a fish sandwich, you can never go wrong with a fishy sandwich because they can be very tasty and the bread goes very well with it. And then you have the dessert breads, or the frutta sando, which is, as you can see, different types of fruit, usually surrounded by a sweet cream. So usually a very thickened up whipped cream, so that you can actually spread it almost like a mayonnaise on a normal sandwich, which basically with usually in between a sweeter milk bread, which is more cake-like. So basically it is a giant cake sandwich. Very good. Very, very tasty. And then, all right, we have more kebabs from a place called Shinsengumi. The Shinsengumi actually were a crew, or a group in Japan feudal culture. And, well, they're well known as both heroes and villains because, depending on what side they were, they were part of the Help of the Change era. Yeah, they were. they helped to change the era, but at the same time, they were resented for changing, or being part of the changing era, and as such, it depends on who's telling the story, but they are both hero and villain at the same time. But you also have to remember that a lot of the times, stories, or especially history, is the victor, or the ones who win, are the ones who get to tell the story. So, if you can, try and research everything you can, go dating back, and, well, yep, that's for the best. Speaking of salty sweet, though, even this one got my hackles up a little bit. So, this takes donuts, yeast donuts, usually yeast raised donuts, not cake donuts, because that would be very freaky. Yeah. Yep, they were very gray. But yeah, this takes yeast cake donuts, or risen donuts, and, well, it surrounds, well, either fried chicken, or what's here is a smash burger and things like that. This actually kind of freaks me out a little bit because that's a little too much sugar and salt for me. So yeah, I have trouble with this one. But I am always up to try anything once. I have had it before, and with the fried chicken one, it's actually really good. It's like almost like chicken and waffles, but with the burger one, it's kind of weird. So I'm not too fond of the burger one, but the fried chicken one is amazing. So if you can get a donut fried chicken sando, go for it, because it is super good. And, well, it's like eating chicken and waffles, which is pretty cool. But yeah, another Ika, or squid, and basically taco is octopus, Ika is squid, and as you can see, this is an Ika, which it has this top here, which is more lengthened, and it is very popular street food because it's very easy for fishing villages. More tornado potatoes, and as you can see, half of it has the nacho cheese, which is actually really easy to make, and then the other half looks like it has Parmesan cheese. But the half that has what looks like nacho cheese, so nacho cheese is actually a blended mixture. So what you need to do usually is dehydrate cheddar cheese, and that dehydration of the cheddar cheese, you mix it usually with like things like a pinch of cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, things like that. and basically you blend it all together until it's like completely powdered, and there you have your nacho cheese powder. So it's a lot easier to make than people believe, but I'm lazy, and dehydration usually takes a day or two. So, well, you need a big drink for a place that's really hot. So, the Los Angeles area can reach up to, I believe, in the last time I was reading the records of 110 plus. So, oh, the Black Bomber cheddar back home. Wow, I'm surprised you were able to get that through customs, but all the more power to you, because if you can get real cheese from around the world, do it. Places around the world make the best ever cheese, like specialty cheeses. So if you can get a specialty item anywhere in the world, try it. You will not regret it. Though customs may take it away, and well, that's always a risk that you have to take. So, well, a little bit of risk, a little bit of madness, and well, I am not advocating for it, but try things the world over, and you won't regret it, because it opens your minds to so much more. So, in Dubai, as you can see, pistachios have become all the craze. So everything has become kind of, this green is very indicative of pistachio over matcha, because matcha has a more vibrant green. Oh, Black Bomber. The Swiss Gruyere, Manchego, Appenzeller, and Oskvik. Oh my gosh. Wow, you made out like quite the Jane Doe. You made quite out like the lovely rat. But yes, I'm glad that you were able to make your way out with that kind of food. But yes, yeah, yep, definitely, yeah. If you keep it in a vacuum, it's dog nose, if it's cold, and in a vacuum, dog noses aren't as sensitive to it. So usually they have to rely on X-ray and things like that to catch it. But yes, it's very interesting going these different routes. But yes, as I was saying, this is the kind of pistachio coloring that's become popular the world over. Pistachios are nuts. That's a very interesting one ground up, and they can react interesting ways. So this is kind of a creamed out nut butter. So take with that what you will. But yes, it has even extra cream on top. So, and speaking of cream, well, these are choux cream, or cream puffs. I am a big fan of eclairs and choux cream, or cream puffs, because usually what's in the center is custard. So they stab in the center, and what goes in is an eggy kind of pudding, usually vanilla here, as you can see, gushing out from the top. And they either top it with like powdered sugar or with chocolate or things like that. Always very sweet, always very good, and it's hard to resist. And then, well, you have waffles that have become very popular, especially the Belgium style. As you can see here, this is probably closer to the Belgium style than it is, say, the American or Asian styles of waffle. And over the top of it, it looks like it has, well, like different creams and chocolates and nuts and things like that. So, Belgium style tends to have sugar crystals inside of it that turn caramelized. And that caramelization actually is really tasty. So basically you get a bit of caramel crunch, and then you get the rest of it that holds up real well to toppings. And this is takoyaki next to it if we're speaking of waffles. So, takoyaki, or usually based from Japan, is actually a kind of waffle type batter that usually goes around it, some sort of filling. Usually what goes around what's called anko. Anko is red bean. So there is coarse and smooth red bean. But this red bean is usually cooked for hours with sugar and like different things like that. And then it is boiled down and turned into a paste. And then basically what they do is they put the waffle batter down, they put some anko on top of it, and then they put the other waffle on top. There actually been a lot of experimentation. So a lot of the times they use what I believe the matcha, which is green tea powder, which is very good green tea powder, and with some white chocolate. And they actually mix those together and they put that in the center. Or they put a custard cream that is a bit thicker and a bit more gloppy, and they put that in the center as well. So if you ever get a chance to try taiyaki, I would suggest it. Anko can be an acquired taste, but it's good to try at least the original before diving into my favorite's the custard one, personally. The white cream is always very, very, very nice. Mm-hmm. But speaking of, we have takoyaki. So remember when I was saying between there's ika, which is squid, up here. Now we have tako, which is octopus. So doesn't look like octopus, does it? What they do is they take and boil an octopus real quick, super blanched real quick until the tentacles just curl up just enough. And so then they like cut up the tentacles and pieces of the octopus and put little slices in here. Yes, tako. You missed the birria part. So, but yes, it Tako versus Taco. But yeah, so this usually has like crispy I'm gonna call it tempura inside of it, and also the taco, and then a little bit of like cabbage and things like that. And it's, for what it is a savory treat, and it is very good. Yes, taco. And this has what looks to be the okonomiyaki sauce, as well as deri mayo, or mayonnaise, a Japanese type mayonnaise. And it has what I believe is powdered green onion, I think, or I believe, yeah, I think it's powdered green onion or powdered parsley that goes over the top, and then it's bonito over the top, which is fish flakes. And so it's very interesting. So the heat that comes off from the takoyaki actually causes the bonito to come to life and kind of dance and curl up and uncurl, and it looks like little kind of writhing kind of flakes on top of your dish. It's pretty actually cool and a lot of fun. Especially some people get very squeamish about it, so just don't. Are you gonna eat that? Make sure they're okay with it. So this is what's called bao. But you may be used to the bao that actually looks like the one all the way up here, like the soupy dumpling kind of bao. So the one down here is called guo bao. So this is guo bao. And basically what you do is it is a steamed kind of sandwich bread. And this sandwich bread, you get to stuff it with roasted pork and all sorts of other ingredients. It is amazing and one of my favorite dishes out there. So basically whenever I get a chance to have guo bao, I always buy some guo bao, because it is very hard to go wrong with a guo bao. Unless you smell something wrong, then you kind of stay away from it. But here's more skewers. But here is temaki, or basically Well, in Northern American culture, they would refer to this as a type of sushi, but it is not sushi. It is closer to an onigiri. Just basically everything piled on top. And well, as you can see, it is actually kind of piled like that. Ta-da! And it's everything on top of basically a cone of nori, which is seaweed. And then there's the rice inside, like an ice cream cone. And then all the other savory flavors are on top of that, which is really good. The left one looks like what I believe it's probably poke, and the right one looks like salmon, because salmon tends to have a redder hue over poke, which is tuna, which is still a red hue, but it's closer to orangish. So always good, always tasty. This one is a rice. They use rice as buns. So technically, this is extra steps. You can use rice as buns, and if you really need to, well, rice can be turned into rice powder or rice flour. Rice flour doesn't rise well though. So what you need to do is put a way for it to rise well in there. And if you're able to get it to rise like that, you have a mochi-like texture bun, which is actually a lot better than, like, unless you like crispy rice, but usually a mochi-type texture bun is soft, super fluffy, and it pulls apart like a dream. It's very good. So if you like crispy rice, go for this one. If you don't, I've actually done buns before, so you can try that. Making bread out of different various materials is always fun. And this is more boba. So this place, basically, what they do is they actually put creme brulee at the bottom. So a lot of the times you have seedless boba down here. On top of that, you have a giant creme brulee pudding right there. So it's amazingly sweet, and it actually, since they caramelize the sugar, it stays crispy, crunchy in the boba itself, and it's really, really good. So I suggest if you ever get a chance to have creme brulee boba, you try it, because the pudding actually goes well with the milk tea and all that stuff. It's very tasty. And then we have more Japanese culture here with yeah. So here's udon, but it's Tokyo style udon. So this is a drier style udon. So basically, udon usually comes in a big giant broth of like bonito and things like that, much akin to kind of actually Japanese ramen. So this comes actually in a drier style where the noodles are already cooked, and well, the egg yolks are usually what keeps things very slippery, slidey. So egg yolk is usually pasteurized in the Northern American area, because how should I put it? Food safety isn't the greatest. So usually they use pasteurized egg yolks, low and slow over a very long time, and they put it together with all these other ingredients, and you kind of mix and toss it together, and it comes out very tasty. But a matsuri or festival wouldn't be complete without yakisoba, which is actually the ramen packet type noodles that most college individuals subside themselves upon. That's the kind of noodles they use for this kind of stuff. So it's heavily sauced, heavily sugary, salty, sweet, and a bunch of vegetables and like other stuff in it, and it's usually very yummy. But you have to make sure they don't oversalt it, because that makes you run to needing a drink very quickly. But sometimes they do oversalt it just for that reason. Then you have, so the red one was poke, and the other one was probably salmon. So you have a poke right here, which is a marinated raw fish, which is pretty good, especially if it's soy marinated poke. Always get your poke though from like advisable sources, places that do clean handling, because unfortunately there has been a rise of parasites, and as such, places that serve good food serve it well. Places that don't take care of themselves too well, you are in for a lot of hurt, a lot of hurt, and I don't wish that on you. Medications and stuff that you need for that is don't do it. Yep. Slow poke tail. So that would be slow poke, and then if a cloister grabs its tail, you have a slow bro, and then if it evolves to actually being able to think, you have a Slowking. But that's another Pokemon story for another day. But here are the eggy type waffles kind of thing, so they actually don't separate it. Yeah, no, yeah, it is yeah, if you get a parasite in your system, horrible things. But yes, here is the eggy type waffles, and as you can see, they add ice cream to it, which is very good. And this long strip right here is called a pirouette because it spirals around. So a lot of the times it's a pain in the butt to make the pirouettes, but they're very tasty. They usually have a stuffed and filled inside of either like chocolate or cream or something like that, and they're always fun. But here we have a bakery. Yay! So this, from what it looks like, is done more in the Parisian style, and with it has like the croissant and also different Parisian style puff pastries. So the French have a pretty large influence on baking and things like that. A lot of Asian culture have taken in a lot of things, but you can usually tell between an Asian culture type Parisian style or French style baked good versus a or an actual baked good from bakeries, because they tend to Parisian / French style tend to stay more traditional, but this probably has a bit of American flair because they turned the croissant into a sandwich, and because they turned the croissant into a sandwich, that would be more fusion style versus the Asian culture versus the French culture. Then, speaking of mixing of fusion of cultures, you have the crepe. So, French culture uses a lot of crepes and things like that. It's a very simple thin pancake. It's just water, flour, and just kind of very like maybe baking soda or things like that. Doesn't even at times use eggs a lot of the time. So as such, this is where kind of Asian culture crosses where is French culture once again. But this time is definitely more Asian because, as you can see, they turned this more into a sweet treat versus something like crepe Suzette or just a kind of tart type thing. So as such, with how it's rolled up and things like that, you probably can walk around with it on the go. And then you have another skewer, but this one is an actual interesting one. This is a yakitori type skewer with a mochi at the end. As you can see, this white thing down here is the mochi that is grilled up on the grill, and it catches a lot of the fats and extra sugars and sauce from the yakitori itself, which yakitori is just a type of chicken type dish where it is grilled up with a sweet sugary sauce on, usually, which is traditional, a charcoal grill. But a lot of places tend not to use charcoal because it's actually very, very, very expensive. And, well, they'll just grill with propane. Because the charcoal briquettes that North America tends to use is utter garbage and trash. That's when you think of charcoal. Real charcoal is actual kind of, how should I put it? Yay, welcome back with food. But yes, real charcoal can actually be a very, very, very clean source of fuel. What it is oxygen deprived, pure carbon, basically wood. So what you do is you have a bunch of stacks of wood, and you create an oxygen deprived environment where basically it just has enough oxygen to burn, but not actually make a large fire. And from that, all the wood itself burns and turns into carbon rods. These carbon rods burn very clean, very efficient, very high temperature. So as such, real... Oh, yes. Yeah. Charcoal is very, very important, especially if you know how to make it correctly. And something I like is chili crisp. So this is chili oil mixed with like garlic and chilies and different other kind of like onions and different kinds of things. It goes over everything savory amazingly. Like sometimes I just eat this over rice, and well, it's very, very good. When I first discovered it, I was like, what? This has been missing from my life for a very, very long time. So it sometimes it does get a little bit stuck in your teeth, but there is an odd trick to this. So since it is oil and you want to rehydrate things, what you do is you actually purposely mix water and the chili crisps together and boil it down, not until it's super, super duper hot, but just boil it down until all the water evaporates off. That makes all the ingredients rehydrate, and then you can recook with all the oils and things like that. Makes for an amazing stir fry or fried rice. I make fried rice pretty often with a rehydrated chili crisp, and it's very, very, very tasty. So, food trucks. Let's see. So, ice cream again. Waffle cones, which are very, very different than all the other types of waffles. This is a type of sugary type cone. Have a good night. See you at night market. Should be fun. Yes. This is a waffle type cone, which is actually sugary. And as such, it caramelizes a lot better, but it presses a lot flatter, and it doesn't puff up, so it actually holds liquids well, versus the other types of ones where basically if it touches liquid, it absorbs it. So you want this kind of waffle cone usually around the outside, though the Eggy waffle has actually gained popularity. This is more birria, and basically you can't go wrong with birria, especially a good birria. It's very tasty and very easy to make. It has usually a beef consomme that goes with it, and well, tasty. So, this shaved ice. There's a couple types of shaved ice out there. So this shaved ice is actually crushed ice versus actual shaved ice, which uses a blade instead. So this crushed ice actually tends to have the normal ingredients and stuff like that over the top of it, but it's a lot more crunchy, and usually you kind of let it melt and then drink this bottom stuff, versus actual shaved ice, which comes from like Asian cultures, Hawaii, things like that, where they actually freeze like a block of milk or a block of juice or something like that, and basically shave that down with a blade, and basically it comes off in sheafs of actual stuff. So that is actually a lot more creamy and a lot better, in my opinion, over crushed ice. Though crushed ice is actually pretty tasty when you're want it. Otherwise, you're back to the churros here. This one is an ice cream stuffed churro, so they are able to specialty stuff all the way through with ice cream, which is very nice. Which is pretty neat too. And then these are the empanadas. If you go farther down south from Mexico, El Salvador, and Nicaragua, things like that, Central America, where you run into these kinds of things where it's easier to keep these things from going bad, especially with the heavily chiled and spiced and things like that, over making other things. So these hand pies are very good, and I would suggest trying them if you can. A lot of the times they come either with ground beef or a mix of ground beef and ground pork, and they're heavily spiced. Oh, yeah. Making homemade churros are very good. So, here's the interesting thing. If you are very lazy with churros, what you can do is just change the tip type for making churros, and churro mix is the same thing you make for funnel cakes. Have a good rest. Rest well. Have a good night. But yes, so churro mix makes an excellent funnel cake, and basically all you need to do is dump the funnel cake in cinnamon and sugar and just basically use it as a plate on top of it, and well, congratulations, you have copped out into one culture into another culture. So it's pretty fun. And then you have another interesting fusion where this is Mexican Asian fusion, where they put like things like fried rice and barbecue pork, I believe it's called, or chashu. And chashu goes in the center of a giant burrito, and well, it's pretty dang tasty. So I would suggest trying fusion whenever you get the chance, because fusion is the creativity of all of you humans, and well, your creativity always astounds me, and it always amazes me. It is a bit of madness in this, well, rather droll world. And well, more drinks. Usually this one looks like agua fresca, which is a Latin type or Latin Central American type drink, which usually involves a lot of fruits, a lot of drinks like that, like blended up to make a refreshing drink. And this one looks like watermelon. This one looks like it looks like a mango type drink, so it should be pretty good. And then you have another elote, but they put chamoy over the top of it. It's for the solid. Oh, thank you. But yeah, you have the chamoy for the salty and sweet again. So, very good. And then, as I said, a lot of people put their madness into crafts. So, with this madness turning into crafts, you have things like socks, rings, bracelets, like Zen remedies. So, we accept all cultures here, all religions here, things like that. This is a safe space. So, people who like to use crystals and things like that, it's always neat to see where they stand on it. Belief, yoga, things like that. Always cool. So, like, here is what looks to be, these are knitted flowers. They're not actual flowers. So they're knitted around a little stem. And as such, this knitting literally keeps them alive for a very long time and keeps them beautiful. And, well, it gives that warm, cozy feel since it's, well, knitted. And then here you have cultures mixing again. So boba candles. Basically, they made things that look like boba tea, but it isn't actually. It has the paraffin wax type in it and all that other stuff melted down and placed into kind of candle stuff. Mainstream brands. So, charms. Charms have become very popular, whether it be for very interesting shoes, Crocs. But yeah, no, there's all sorts of different charms for bracelets, for necklaces, for different types of things. And it's, if you can see to the left here, they've made more different types of candles and things like that. And then more knitted stuff, more necklaces. See, they're even using resin in different types of jewelry, jewels here. So, for resin, it takes a very steady hand. You have to be very careful with it. I used to do a lot of resin work myself when I'm making costume props. And maybe someday, if we get if we hit some sort of goal, I'll show off a costume or something. But yes, I have made quite the number of props, and I've used resin before to make those props, and as such, it is a pain in the butt, especially if you get one air bubble trapped in there, and you're just like, oh dang. But usually you use a shaker and heat to get the stuff out, so it's very nice. You have more stuff here. Pokemon. There's a lot of hobby stores out there, so yeah. There's people who actually make their own clothing and sell it here. So this is always very cool. I'm always very happy when I get to see others making their own types of clothing and stuff and trying to sell different cultures and things. What else? More crochet. So these things, I swear, these labubus, I swear they are voodoo dolls because they actually have origins in voodoo culture, and as such, I am very careful with them. Let's just say, with knowledge comes interesting encounters, and those interesting encounters have, shaped perception that there may be things beyond what we are able to see. So, be very careful, and people, there's some interesting stuff out there that we may not ever be able to explain. Cartoon cultures, so ink pressing things, or like cold pressing, stuff like that. Basically, screen printing and stuff is very fun. You get to create your own kind of stuff and things, and it's pretty neat. This one is, I believe, for Stranger Things. But yeah, there's a lot of different types of things. I've always actually been a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Kinda. The original Yu-Gi-Oh! And at least 5Ds was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed those ones, but the other ones have been kind of hit or miss. So then after they started introducing so many different types of card types and things like that, I kind of fell off because I was like, okay, I pendulum summon into this, synchro summon into this revival, into this, yeah. Yep. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. But with that, we went over everything that's at the night market. Hopefully I get to show you a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and all over the place from the night market. I learned a lot myself, but I do actually want to take a look at a night market that is from a different culture. So, as you can see, there's a lot of different foods from a lot of different cultures and how they're prepared themselves. As you saw, skewers and things like that from different parts of the world. And, well, like rolled up eggs. There's the taiyaki again. There's the tangaru, as we went over. And, well, they're muddling stuff there. There's the guabao, which is always very tasty. Stuffed chicken, always. Oh, and the tamagoyaki. So tamagoyaki is just like omelet cooked on top of omelet and cooked on top of omelet cooked on top of omelet, and it's always super duper neat. So, as you can see, there's a lot of stalls and things like that. Night market doesn't always have to take place during the night. I will be going. Oh well, I believe this one starts at 4, so I'll probably be going during the daylight hours myself, so I can get back to all y'all on time. So it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of things to do. That way, I can get some sleep at night as well. I actually probably need to head off elsewhere after Saturday night. But yes, you can see all the different types of things, different types of. Well, they call things pancakes there, but they're not actually pancakes. As you can see, as you were able to see, they resemble more what's called crepes, or the Japanese style. And as such, they add a lot of different feelings. See how this one is being created savory and things like that? Whereas other cultures, the French also do savory, but a bit of sweet. Japanese have a lot of sweet rather than savory. So it's kind of different things the world over. And, well, convenient transport is always a great way to go. That's why we have, like, American culture kind of ripped off Latin culture for the burrito, and then you have the sandwiches, which is always popular, the tacos, and all that stuff all over the place. And yeah, since a lot of these Asian places are close to the sea, you'll see a lot of sea culture and things like that all around. Yeah. I'll go to sleep in a little bit. But we went through that kind of culture stuff. And let's see. What else should we choose? Oh. Yep. And this is Thailand, Phuket. In Malaysia. And let's see. Oh, this one's actually the Singapore night market is actually really neat. Oh, this is the chicharron type thing I was talking about. So, as you can see, they cook up an entire pig. Like, it's the whole thing. And, well, it gets super duper crispy, crunchy, and all that stuff. And it's amazing to eat with the right ingredients. And you can see them even crisping it up even more. And as such, very, very good. I'm a big fan of it. So, I believe it's in Filipino culture, Lao Cha or something like that. My cultural tongue is a little bit lacking, but well, English was unfortunately my first language, and I've had to make do with learning other languages as I've traveled the world. Because a lot of the world actually speaks English. Yeah. So, let's see. Oh, this is in Busan, which is in Korea. So, as you can see, bacon wrapped meatballs. How can you go wrong with bacon wrapped meatballs? Like, you can't. And then a bacon wrapped egg. So, it like a sauce, bacon wrapped meatball, bacon wrapped egg. So good. Yeah. And then, yep, you have tapang, tapantoki and things like that. Yeah, English is well, a lot of things are based off of Latin, and English is kind of the bastardization of Latin. So a lot of people still take off Latin, but I had to learn Latin myself because, well, that's what a lot of old gods and deities get converse in because we're very old. So it's a universal language. So, yep. Uh, and then Thai street food. When I went to Thailand, oh my gosh, it was so good. I got this, I believe it was squab. So squab for those that may not know is actually pigeon, but very cleanly, very well taken care of pigeon. So it's closer to what you would call a Cornish game hen. And they made it with a bunch of different spicy sauces and things like that, and it was so good. But it was a little too spicy for me. So I actually, unfortunately, ran my mouth under a water fountain for a very long time to get the fire out. And then basically I ran screaming over to a convenience store over there and bought a yogurt drink as quick as I possibly could to put the fire out. So yeah, it was a little bit spicy, and I can handle my spice. So yeah, my mouth kind of burned like crazy. It wasn't fun. And then you have giant soups like that. See all the stalls and things like that. If you can't find a deal and bargain there, you're just not looking hard enough. And basically, if they're not willing to give you a bargain on something that you like there, just turn around and walk away. They'll come. I have seen people run others down just because they walked away. Yeah, Asian spicy can get a lot, and yeah, I've done some Szechuan stuff, and oh, my mouth turned completely numb. It was yeah, Thai spicy is holy heck, especially the tiny chilies. Yeah, I would compare it to ghost pepper at time, and basically yeah. Speaking of, we actually hot stuff. We did a chili challenge, so if you know Hot Ones challenge, there is a thing called hot sauce called Da Bomb. So back when we were little and we were all stupid, we dared one of my friends to, because I was cooking with this stuff. I was like, okay, only a tiny bit, no more. And my friend was like, oh, this is no big. And so my friends and I were like, okay, so if you think it's no big deal, take a spoonful. It wasn't even like a tablespoon. It was just a teaspoonful. And well, we fed him a teaspoonful of Da Bomb. And well, he was like, oh, this is no shit. And he was very, well, let's just say, he shut up very quickly. And well, snot started pouring out of his nose. Things started to, like tears started dribbling down his face. He broke out into a cold sweat, and his entire body turned red. And then he had to run over and well, try and get the evil within him out of him. So that was a very interesting night of me going, okay, I did this. I'm part of the problem. Okay, let's get you milk. Okay, that was very stupid, right? And he was just laying on the bathroom floor going, whimpering and crying. So it was both funny and sad, and well, I had to take care of him because basically I got him into trouble like that, so I had to make sure that, well, all the other friends were laughing though, and I was just like, you guys are assholes. Come help me take care of him. But yeah, in my group of friends, I've always been the mom. So yeah, If someone is suffering or someone is sick, I make sure they are well taken care of. So. Oh, crab! It looks like. Or. So. Crab is very interesting. The legs are actually very good. But a lot of people have trouble getting into the legs. So, the secret is to break off the legs and break off one end and use it as a kind of like a straw. And basically you roll out the straw from one end to the other with kind of like a stick or something like that. And basically all the good crab meat gets squeezed out. And basically you can turn all that amazing crab meat into like dishes and things like that. Then you open up the crab itself. Be careful. It's sharp usually, but when you open it up, you have to clean it really, really well or it tastes horrible. And make sure you get rid of all the filters and things like that in there because, as you know, crabs a lot of the times are filter feeders. And they may be omnivores, but they filter a lot of stuff through their system. And that leads to a lot of poisons. So it's why a lot of things that filter or higher ups on the food chain have a lot of heavy metals in them because they filter out stuff from lower down into higher up things. And those heavy metals stay each and every single solitary time into each and every single thing. But right there was krill, and that is dried shrimp. So, well, not usually dried in the ocean, but you turn it into dried shrimp and things like that, and it goes great on as a kind of seafoody punch in certain dishes. So it's pretty cool. So let's go back. What? See. Oh, there's a tasting card. 20 bucks? Oh. So live. Wow. So maybe I'll try this and try and get like 4 things for 20 bucks. Oh, so that has the baozi. So that's the other type of bao, and it's usually filled with all different types of things. A lot of the times I've had the pizza one, I've had the chicken one, I've had the curry one, so it is so tasty. That one looked like the chicken tinga one, which stuffed inside is so good. And basically the gyoza there, super easy to make. I will probably make gyoza in the future and with a skirt because having a super crunchy skirt around the outside of it is really, really tasty, especially when it absorbs soy stuff really, really well. And that soy stuff is so good. Alright, let's see what else. So that's stinky tofu. Be careful. Be careful of stinky tofu. It is a very acquired taste and it tastes like rotten cheese at times. So it's be very careful. Yeah. See, even she her face went sideways. So yeah, it's something you have to be careful over. Oh. So basically, that's kind of like, oh, build your own buffet kind of thing, and it's really good because they cook it over with specialties for a very long time, and each stall has their own special recipe from each other. Oh, so imitation crab is very, very popular in Asian culture, even though I believe it's something that was made for allergies, but it's very, very, very good. I am actually a big fan of I know it's well, basic. Yeah, I would probably be a food tourist. But yeah, I know it's basic, but I am a fan of California rolls because you get chopped up whatchamacallit, the crab and stuff like that, the surimi, the fake crab, and you get a avocado in there and some, like, usually some carrots and some cucumber and stuff with sushi rice and nori on the outside, and it, yeah, it's very good and I enjoy it, and well, it's a lot of fun. And then let's see what else. Well, this one looks very interesting. So Ika, Eggy, and Eggy again, and Tangaru. So yeah, it's hard to describe actual real Tangaru, but Mhm. This is actually very, very tasty. You get all this together with a family special sauce. Mm-hmm. Very, very. Wow. And you have bacon. So the big thing is bacon is different all around the world. So North America, bacon tends to be the same. Especially Canadian bacon is fake. Even in Canada, bacon is bacon. It is the smoked kind. But overseas, in Asia, they use Canadian bacon as bacon instead, which is just ham. And I was very sad when I ordered a bacon burger in Asia because I wanted to try a burger in Asia. I think it was a fast food place actually. And well, I I got very sad because I was the bacon there was horrible. The burger itself was very good, but the bacon itself was nope, 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 nope. But I should probably stop talking all your ears off, and for now, probably get back to over here. Hi, hi, lovelies. Well, I can't exactly raid yet, but hopefully I'll be able to raid others soon. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I think I did I think I did more teaching than I did learning. But I hope all of you have a wonderful night. All of you have a little bit of chaos, have a little bit of madness in your life, and well, do what you do best. Go out there and make the world a chaotic little place. Stand up for yourself and, well, join others in having fun. You only live once after all. And be the creative little human you are because, well, I love that type of worship when you pray for it. Alright, so for now, nya. See you later. Bye bye.